Hello, Lorcana TCG enthusiasts, and welcome to the first color review for Into the Inklands. Yes, Into the Inklands is now officially here in the TCG. While there definitely is some distribution issues, boxes not having legendaries, and the possibility of a card that should not be in the set being in the set, the hollow all art Citrox Star, the set is here. Distribution issues are kind of gone because I don't think I've heard like any distribution issues. Now we're having, well, issues with packaging and putting cards in the box and all of that. But, one step at a time for Ravensburger. Not great, but you know what? I will take a few little hiccups with packaging and putting cards in packs and getting packs in boxes and all of that which can be ironed out in production over more distribution issues. So I'll take that over distribution issues. But that is a completely different topic. Today we are looking at the Ember cards from Into the Inklands. I'm going to give you my thoughts, what I think they could do, and maybe some preliminary thoughts of what decks might be good or what could be tier 2 for a deck or anything like that, or other strategies these cards can go with from the older sets. And we will talk about some power creep if I think cards are power creeping up or push power creep even further up. Because let me tell you, we are seeing decks now that can now win on turn 5 or 7, depending on the deck strategy. Like, for instance, Jafar OTK that released from this set can win by turn 7. 100% can win by turn 7. Which sucks that we're getting that fast in Lorcana. I kind of want Lorcana not to end on turn 7. But, that's for Ravensburger to figure out and balance with limits, with ban lists. And the problem is that really, Ravensburger doesn't have any official big tournaments yet to really make a ban list. Now, power creep between each set is common in every single card game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does it all the time. Pokemon does it all the time. Magic the Gathering does it all the time. Digimon has done it all the time. All these card games slightly power creep each time a new set comes out, creeping out the older sets. Now, massive jumps of power creep are not what we want. Little power creep that power creeps out some of the strategies from the older sets to the newer sets is pretty common. So we're here in Pixelborn. We're going to look at all the Amber cards, and we're going to start off with Blue. So he has Bodyguard, and then when this character is banished, you can gain 2 lore. So very nice if you kind of wanted to play like an Emerald strategy where all the Emerald cards don't want to be banished, and plus this character doesn't care how he's banished. When this character is banished, gain 2 lore. I could also see him as a very good card for Bodyguard. Steel Amber decks. There we have a lot of new bodyguards that are in Amber right now, alongside Steel, and there's a lot of different strategies you could even play with bodyguards. So, this is a very neat deck to consider for like Emeralds, Shenanigans, or even more better, playing it in a Steel Amber Musketeers strategy. Though I feel like Musketeers is kind of disappearing, as even I think right now with as many bodyguards as we had, and as many good cards that we've had, it's kind of disappearing from Musketeers and more like just Bodyguard Turbo right now. But neat card. Bernard, we are getting more rescuer support. We're getting a lot of different movies and shows all kind of adding up here. Baloo is from DuckTales. Bernard is from The Rescuers. So it's really cool. There's Dalmatian Puppies. The next card we're going to see is from Fantasia. So it's really cool that Ravensburger is really pulling from Disney movies and shows. And it's just really, really fun what they can pull. Of course, we're seeing a lot of the same characters, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. But, I mean, that's to be frank. They're always going to be repeated. Trust me, Digimon has pulled more Agumons into existence than I have ever seen. But anyways, at the start of your turn, if this character is exerted, you may ready another chosen character of yours. That's really nice. So anyways, you can exert him. You can quest for 2. He's exerted. Then you may unexert something at the end of your turn, which is pretty nice, especially if you don't want something to be attacked on your field. You can unexert it. So that's pretty neat. Chernobog. His art looks cool. If you haven't seen his Enchanted Rare, highly recommend just checking it out. It's really, really cool. but he's very neat. He's the first time we're actually seeing something like this, where he can decrease his cost for each character in your discard pile. So if you have 10 or if you have like 8 characters, he costs 2. So it's really, really cool. It's a neat idea. Amethyst does have a character called Chernobog's like goons or something that when they quest, they can banish themselves to draw a card. That kind of buffs up Chernobog's idea. But it's really cool to see that Chernobog from Fantasia, this is actually a really good song, and the visuals are really cool too. Definitely check it out. But then Summon the Spirits, when you play this character, shuffle all character cards from your discard into your deck. So this is really cool. Typically, there's not really a way to like shuffle your deck in Lorcana. Typically, when you look like the top 3 cards, you put them on the bottom of your deck. There's not really a way like to shuffle. The Brooms can do it, and now Chernobog can do it. So a deck strategy that kind of came to my mind as I was first reviewing these strategies was the fact of using the the Queen from set 2, that she could tap herself to pitch a guy into your graveyard and you gain lore based on the lore of that character. So you can actually like combo her with Chernobog, so that way you're using her to pitch guys into your discard, gaining that lore, and then that just decreases Chernobog's cost. Then because Chernobog is getting so cheap, you play Chernobog, then you shuffle all those guys back in your deck. Now you have them recycling back into your deck. That is a strategy. I don't really know any other decks that could really take use of him. Maybe Mufasa to play him out for free, but again, I just don't know. I feel like that would be a pretty interesting deck using the Queen and Chernobog. So you can constantly use the Queen's effect to constantly pitch guys out of your hand. And Ember has enough good draw support right now, and Emerald is basically just like hand control turbo. So you could do like a hand control Queen with the Chernobog engine in it. So pretty neat idea. So anyways, we have all of the Dalmatian puppies here. Just to check it out, you can have 99 copies of Tailwagger. 99 copies. Oh, that's not Tailwagger. There are Tailwaggers. They're all Tailwaggers. All right, so you can have 99 copies of Tailwagger. So in essence, it kind of just brings in the idea of 99 puppies, even though it's a 101 Dalmatians. It would have made more sense to do 101 Dalmatians. But nonetheless, you can have up to 99 copies of your Tailwagger. Pick your color of Tailwagger. That's it. There is a strategy, I think, with Piglet right now, where Piglet has 2 or more characters on the board. He can gain +2 lore. But I was thinking more of using Piglet in like a bodyguard strategy, because you can have enough bodyguards up on the board. Nonetheless, if you guys really want to play 99 Tailwaggers, be my guest. Anyways, we do have Atlantis cards in here. Yes, Atlantis has now officially had its first set release of cards, and it feels so good. Atlantis is one of my love movies of all time. Really underrated for what it is. But anyways, we have Joshua Sweet. This is the Doctor from Atlantis. But anyways, he is bodyguard, and that's pretty much about it. 𝐘𝐒, I do love 𝐘𝐒's card here just because her flavor text is all in Atlantean, and it's just really nice. But anyway, she's just a vanilla. So 𝐘𝐒 shift, she can shift over 3 for anybody named 𝐘𝐒. There is a steel 𝐘𝐒 as well. And when you play this character, all characters get -3 until the start of your turn. So it's pretty neat. If you kind of wanted to like knock off your guys' board presence, that's pretty much about it. I'm not oversold with it. By the way, we have more characters that got the Floodborn title on them. So we are, yes, seeing more characters that can synergize with those Floodborn Pacific characters from set 2, where if you played a Floodborn character, do something. So that is pretty nice that we're seeing more of these characters. My fear was we weren't going to see a lot of characters, but we're still seeing some Floodborn characters to utilize those Floodborn Pacific characters from set 2. But she's neat. I don't know how useful she is, but I think she has her place if you want to play a very interesting control strategy where you basically give -3 to everything on you. I mean, the problem is, be mindful, it's when you play this character, all characters get -3 power until the start of your next turn. Be mindful that does hurt you as well. So, be mindful that does affect you as well. But I mean, if you're playing a strategy where you need to protect a bunch of your guys from destruction, that's not a bad idea. I don't know how playable she is. Maybe a strategy will come up that really utilizes this, but as of right now, I don't see one. We got lucky. Good news. Reveal top 3 card of your deck. You may put each character card would cost 2 or less into your hand and put the rest of them on your deck. Congratulations. Look at that. We can put all the tail waggers we want on our hand. Puppy Love. When you quest, if you have 4 or more characters in play, your other characters get +1. So this is very interesting. So Dalmatians is, I think, a competent, interesting strategy because we're going to want to put so many tail waggers. I highly recommend putting Mufasa in that deck to use his effect. But what you want is you want to have a bunch of just tail waggers all over the board, and then Lucky gives them all +1. So now all these tail waggers are questing for 2. Now, mindful, these tail waggers are only 3 will, so they aren't tough per se, but nonetheless, I definitely could actually see some interesting Dalmatian strategy coming out from this deck. I don't know what your secondary color would be, but it's definitely a strategy. Anyways, we have a 2-cost Singer 3 Minnie Mouse. So Song Control got yet another really good singer. She can sing a lot of really good song control cards from Steel, Storm of Raging Fire, Storm Rages On, the Mulan one I totally keep forgetting about. But anyways, just another neat card. And when you replay this character with Bodyguard, you may remove 2 damage from chosen characters. So this is also really nice. So she really works with a Bodyguard synergy strategy because she could, whenever you play Bodyguard, you could just remove 2 damage from anything on the board. Just very nice overall. Another card that really goes with Bodyguard, and I kind of see Bodyguard being able to use a little bit of song control synergy as well. Miss Bianca, let's be honest, everyone. I don't know. There's a lot of characters throughout the history of Disney because Maid Marian got put into this. I think she already has a card, but she got a card at least in Sapphire. Let's be honest. There are a lot of furry baited waifus in here, and Miss Bianca is probably one of those furry baited waifus. She's a singer 4, by the way, on a Katas 2 body, so very good. Again, the best Steel songs for song control is 5, but still not bad just for a singer 4 on a 2-cost body. Mr. Snoops is just a vanilla. Nani is in here. She's a 3/6 bodyguard. Quest for 2. Orville. Nothing really exciting about him. Oh, he's just a vanilla. Anyways, we got Patch. He can exert himself. The chosen character gets -2 into the start of your next turn. That's okay. We got Perda. While you play this character, and whenever she quests, you may play a character with 2 costs less from your discard for free. So this is kind of the interesting thing. You can spam, you can get her out, and then you can just use all your tail waggers to start punching into things, and then she could just start bringing tail waggers out. So you constantly have it. So we have Piglet. Like I said, I believe Piglet could go into a Dalmatian strategy because you'll have the amount of characters out, or he can go into a bodyguard strategy as well. So while you have 2 or more other characters besides him in play, this character gets +2 lore. So he goes up to 3 lore on a 2-cost body, which is not bad. Again, he's only 2/2, so he isn't overly strong, but I mean, for what he does, he's not bad. Like I said, I could definitely see him in Bodyguard, or I could definitely see him being played in a 101 Dalmatian deck. We got Pluto. We do have, of course, 2 Plutos from this set. We got the Amber Pluto. We got a Sapphire Pluto as well. He's a shift 5. He is Bodyguard. And at the start of your turn, you remove up to 3 damage from this character. So in essence, this character not only being Bodyguard is also about punching things. So it's really good. It's a different style of Bodyguard. He's more of a Taka defensive Bodyguard. Because at the start of turn, we just remove 3 damage. And then if you combo that with the Mini, that also can remove 2 damage when you play a Bodyguard. Like I said, I think Bodyguard strategies are getting very, very interesting. So anyways, we have Pluto. And then Good Dog. You can tap him and pay 1 less for the next character you play. We're seeing a lot of Amber being able to reduce play costs a lot. Mickey Mouse has done it. We have Lantern that does it. Pluto now does it. Another Doc that does it. So we're seeing a lot of characters that can reduce costs. Amber's really, really good at spamming characters, which is very good. So anyways, not bad. We got Pongo. Last time we saw Pongo, he was Ruby and he was evasive. Once per turn, when you play, you may pay 2 to reveal top card of deck. If it's a character, put into your hand, otherwise put on the bottom of your deck. He's neat. I mean, what it does is it's just spamming your hand full of tail waggers. That's all you're doing. You're just trying to get all your guys into your hand so that you can just mass this massive hand of dudes that you're going to spill out on the battlefield. Like I said, I'm not sure about if it's going to make tier 2 or tier 1 or anything like that. I think it's like a tier 2 to almost tier 3 deck. It's a neat concept, I will say that. We got another Queen of Hearts. Always here are my ways. Whenever this character quests, you other villains get a +1. So it's really nice to see that we're kind of getting some better synergy for a villains deck. Amethyst Amber is villains because you want to use the Hades from chapter 1, which gains lore count per the amount of villains in play. Let's see. Yeah, here he is. He's also Floodboard. Sinister Plot, this character gets +1 for each other villain you have in play. So, we're seeing a little bit more synergy to help villain decks. I never actually played a villain deck, honestly, in Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, but this is pretty nice. So she just gives a buff to all your other villains. It kind of pushes more of a motif of getting a villains deck together, which I guess I'll have to check out. Rolly. He's just a supporter. Anyways, that's kind of it. So we have kind of each of the main dog names, at least the ones that are most important, like Lucky, Rolly, and Patch, because he got his own movie, 102 Dalmatians. And then we got all the tail waggers, which are the rest of the dogs. Which makes sense. Actually, yeah, that's interesting. So if you actually count it out, here's 99, 100, 101, and then 102, because they did end on 102 Dalmatians in their second movie. So, we got a Tinkerbell. I believe this Tinkerbell is actually reflecting the Tinkerbell movies, which I don't think are bad. I never watched them. I think my sisters did. But, or maybe I watched them on when we went on to vacations. I can't remember. But nonetheless, what's really cool about this is that we are seeing them go with those movies. Like I said, I really want to see Pixar in here. I think it'd be really cool if we could get like Toy Story. I believe 100% at a set, we are going to see stuff from Kingdom Hearts. There's like no way that Ravensburger is going to skip out Kingdom Hearts. Now, I don't know how that's going to work with Square Enix, because they do have the rights, but it'd be really interesting if we could see Kingdom Hearts and then seeing Final Fantasy characters in Lorcana. It'd be kind of funny. And I'd like to see Star Wars and Marvel, but I don't know where the legality of Star Wars and Marvel is, because Star Wars has its own card game and Marvel has its own card game. And I believe Fantasy Flight Games produces both of them. You can correct me down in the comments. I don't know how that works, but I know for a fact I really want Pixar, and I think Kingdom Hearts definitely needs to come into here as well. And like I said, I think the Tinkerbell movies could be really good to come in here as well. There's some very interesting characters they could pull from there, like all Tinkerbell's friends with all their powers and all their abilities and stuff like that. So we'll kind of have to see. Like I said, I know Ravensburger said that they moved all the way through set 8. Right now, this is the location set, meaning that's the new mechanic that came into the game. And Ravensburger's always said they already wanted to do locations. So I don't know what set 4 is going to bring us, but locations are in this set. We'll talk about them when we get to them. But anyway, to Tinkerbell. When you play this character, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a character card and put in your hand, put the rest in the bottom end in order. So again, she kind of wants to combo with kind of this Pride Dalmatian deck, so you constantly are adding more and more characters to your hand. So neat nonetheless. And again, because I think we'll have so many characters in a Dalmatian deck, Mufasa, like I said, is actually pretty good. A Windy, a little bit of power creep here for a 2-cost that quests for 2, but we're kind of seeing that. I really don't mind Lorcana being faster, but I really don't want Lorcana to speed like by the time we reach set 4, which is who knows when competitive season actually starts for Lorcana. I don't want to be at set 4 and suddenly we're winning by turn 3. You know, Ravensburger, let's slow down just a little bit there, my friends. Look, a little power creep each set to power creep out the old strategies to bring in the new strategies is perfectly fine. Let's not over power creep and jump from each set power creeping the other set like massively. A little power creep is fine. Massive jumps of power creep are not. But I don't think it's overly power creeped. I mean, it's literally just a 2-cost that quest for 2 on a 1/3 body. Again, just another good kind of target for like Bodyguard Turbo, because again, this just kind of can sit there, gain you lore, and basically have the bodyguards to protect it. 99 puppies. When one of your character quests is turned game 1 lore. So we already kind of Emerald kind of has kind of the same strategy. It's steal from the rich, where whenever you quest, you steal lore from your opponent. So this is just really, really good because, again, the whole deck strategy of the 99 Dalmatians, or the 101 Dalmatians, 102 Dalmatians, depending how you want to say it, the Dalmatian deck, is spamming out all your guys, and then you just play this card right here, and then all your guys are basically just questing for their 1 and then getting an additional lore. So it's spam. It's basically spam lore. It's pretty neat. I think there is a deck strategy there. I just don't know how good it'd be. Tier 3 or even just kind of gimmicky tier. We got Boss's Order. Chosen character gains support. That's pretty neat. Heal What Has Been Hurt. I actually don't even know the song that this comes from. I believe it's... Is it the ending song of Tangle? But anyways, it's a Singer 3 song, so we've seen Minnie Mouse be able to sing it. We know Cinderella from set 2 can sing it. And you remove 3 damage to chosen character and draw a card. So, again, Amber's really good also at the healing strategy. So this is also another very good healer card. Not mentioning if you combine it with the set 2 Rapunzel stuff, where you can draw cards for healing. It's not bad at all. Quick Patch, you can move 3 damage from chosen location. By the way, you can attack locations in this game. They're not, like, safe. They all have wills, and they all can be attacked. So... this just heals up a location. The newest card for Song Control and for Amber Emerald Hand Control. It's a cost 2 song, so anyone that's 2 cost or Singer 2 can sing this. Chosen opponent reveals their hand and discards a non-character card of your choice. So your opponent shows you your hand. You pick a non-character card and discard it. Very good against Jafar strategies because you want to get out there, especially you can see their hand. That allows you to remove their swords, remove their whole new worlds. So this is very good for just controlling their hand. And because, like I said, you could put it in Song Control where it's very good because that gives you more knowledge of what's going on in their hand, and then that gives you the ability to counter with your songs. It's also very good for Amber Emerald Hand Control, because that gives you knowledge of their hand. You can rip a card out of their hand, and because you'll have so many other cards that rip stuff out of their hand, like playing out Lucifer, playing out Daisy, Prince John. By the way, Prince John with this is amazing, because that will allow you to draw a card. Because your opponent discarded a card. So, it's a very, very good card. Also, The Bare Necessities is a good song. Now, just so everyone understands, Disney's song, as you kind of see here, these aren't like the names of the songs. Like, Bare Necessities is the name of the song. Be Prepared is the name of the song. Tooth and Gnash is just a line from the song. Well, Razzburger doesn't have unlimited amount of songs to pull from Disney. Again, a lot of these songs are kind of like copyrighted music. Like, for instance, the song you think about when you think of Toy Story is You Got a Friend in Me, but that's a copyrighted song that you have to pay royalties to. Now, Disney doesn't have to pay royalties to their own songs, but Disney doesn't have an infinite amount of songs. So we're going to see a lot of songs that just pull random bits and pieces, like Unfortunate Souls, a really good song where Ursula sings to Ariel about, being unfortunate, needing to change and all that. We do have I believe it's Emerald. We'll check. We'll see it when we get to it. But it's called The Boss Is on a Roll. That's just a line from the song. We are going to see that more and more as they try to get us more and more songs in the game, but all the Disney songs are not infinite. Not saying that they can't do another Be Prepared that's like Amethyst or something. They can do anything kind of want. And we got Cleaning Rainwater, Banish Side, remove 2 damage from chosen character. Pretty neat. We got the Heart of Atlantis. Okay, so you could tap it, pay 2 less for the next character you played this turn. So the Heart of Atlantis is nonetheless just an upgraded version of Lantern. Now, Lantern is 2 cost, where this is 4 cost. So, I believe this is probably going to take the place of Lantern. Lantern probably got power creeped out now. Heart of Atlantis is now the much better one, because this now just spams out all your level 2 guys out for free. But nonetheless, I think some people are still going to play Lantern, because Lantern's only a 2 cost character. Or a 2 cost item, actually. And this is a 4 cost item. So, Lantern can come out a little quicker than this can. But this also means that Stitch Rockstar can actually come out a lot quicker. now as well. Again, you have to be mindful. Maybe if you played like some kind of like Amber Sapphire ramp deck, it could come out a little quicker, but nonetheless, pretty neat. It does power creep Lantern a little bit. And then Wildcat's Wrench, remove 2 damage from chosen location. So if you really want to protect your locations, that's pretty good. So, locations. Yes, I do know they're sideways. That's how they actually come out of the pack, by the way, too. It's kind of weird. But they come out sideways and they'll slap down, like, vertically. So they'll flip over like this. I'm trying to show how it would look. Anyways, it's going to look that way. Locations have very interesting. So, they have wills, they have cost, and then this is a cost to move a character to a location. Now, a lot of locations have abilities while characters are there. We will see there's 2 down here that do it. And locations also have lore. At the beginning of your turn, this lore counter right here gains you 1 lore at the start of your turn. I believe not all locations have a lore attached to them, or any lore attached to them, but these are just auto-generating lore per turn. So it's very interesting. Now, I will say some locations are better than others. 100%. 100% some locations are better than others. And I do feel locations have, because there's not anything we can compare them to in the previous 2 sets, locations are pretty power creep. They definitely make a jump in the gameplay. Now, I will say something. I did mention when Lorcana first came out, Lorcana everyone kind of thought was dull and boring. It was very dumbed down, easy magic. Set 2 kind of evolved the strategy, more or less the playstyle, more or less the control, the OTK decks and all that. And now Lorcana Chapter 3 is now further evolved the game with now locations. And a lot of different ways to use locations and a lot of different deck strategies that want to play with locations. Lorcana has sped up. Now, I'm fearing it's getting too fast. That's my fear for Chapter 4. My hope is that by Chapter 4, maybe we slow just a little bit down. I don't want to suddenly see decks by the time Chapter 4 release winning by turn 4. Because now we're seeing decks winning by at least turn 7. And I really don't want to see by the time we get to Chapter 8. Because we know Asperger stated they've already planned out 8 sets. That by the time set 8 drops, we're winning by turn 1. We have FTKs in Lorcana. Not sure how that's going to be possible, but my greatest fear would be that we get FTKs, and no one wants to play an FTK, okay? Trust me, I played enough FTKs in Yu-Gi-Oh! No one wants to play an FTK. I'm not against decks being able to speed through it, but I really don't want to see, especially in this game, I don't want to see strategies where we're winning by turn 4. Turn 7's okay because at least there's enough like control decks running around in the format, enough high power, quickly aggro decks in the format that I don't think it's advantageous, but I do like that Lorcana has officially been growing to become more competent, a more interesting game than just what it started out to be. So overall, that's really, really nice. So anyways, Neverland is, you can pay 1 to move characters here. It's got 4 will, and it can get you a lore per turn. The Pride Lands. So, characters get +2 will while here. So, in essence, where this has 7 will, all characters here actually can buff their will up as well. If you have a Prince or King character, you may pay 1 less to play characters. Okay, so, in essence, playing like a King or Prince style deck, maybe even putting this in Princesses, maybe to have a king or something in here. There's a lot of characters that have prince or king. Simba, I think, has prince or king. We have plenty of the prince. We have Prince Eric and Prince that. What I can see you doing in this, because we have princes that are bodyguards, like Prince Eric, the prince, we can actually put them in here. And then that gives them 2 more will on their bodyguard. And then you can basically give them 2 more will, and because there's at least them here, you can start then just spamming stuff out. So, pretty neat. Again, it also gives you 1 lore per turn. And then we have Tiana's Place. Characters can't be challenged while here. So, that's pretty neat. I think this is kind of lowest. Personally, I think the really good locations are in the other colors. I think Amber kind of got a stick of its characters. I don't think they're all great. This one just basically means your characters can't be challenged. I don't know how many people really challenge characters, but still, if you had a character you don't want to be challenged, That's not bad. And this also gains you a lower per turn. This one I think is probably the best location because you can use the ability to reduce the cost of one to play characters. So this is really nice as long as you can keep a prince or a king here. And this doesn't stack, by the way. If you have a prince or king, you may play one less. So as long as you have at least a prince or king, you're paying one less. I don't think this would stack if you had like 2 princes, 2 kings. Suddenly you're paying 2 less for every character. So again, I think this would be really good for like maybe the Dalmatian deck, because you could maybe put like Simba bodyguard in there, because I believe he's a prince. Is he a prince? Where are you, Simba? He is a prince, so you could put him there. He would be able to bodyguard there, and then basically because he's a prince, you pay 1 less for every character you play. So if you combine that with like a lantern, you could pay 1 for like all your spamming 2 cost guys. So nonetheless, probably the best location. Neverland's just generic, and Tiana's place I'm kind of iffy on because Troop Bateau right now, where we kind of are, control decks are kind of playing with the steel engine, and I don't care about challenging in a steel when I'm playing with a steel engine because I just do chip damage with all my steel cards. So, nonetheless, pretty neat. So overall, I think Amber was okay. I don't think they got any big bombs anywhere or like over major cards that like in any way like power creep. Chernobog is really cool. I think there's a Dalmatian strategy you can play. 𝐑𝐒 is really neat, especially the art. I don't know how good she is. We got a couple more singers for song control. Piglet, I think, has some good play strategy. The Pluto line is actually pretty neat for bodyguards. Amber got like I said, a couple more ways to reduce costs. The Queen is really neat if you're really a lover of villains. But other than that, we got one really good song. That's it. The other one's okay. I think it's niche. If you're gonna play it, you'd have to play it like in a Rapunzel draw strategy, and that'd be about it. But yeah, let me know down in the comments your thoughts on the Amber cards from Into the Inklands. Have you picked up the set? What are you excited to build using the Into the Inkland Amber cards alongside Chapter 1 and Rise of the Floodborn cards? What decks are you peppering with the new Amber cards? What decks are you running? Are you going to look at that Are you going to look at Chernobog? Are you going to look at Dalmatians? Are you going to look at like a bodyguard strategy? Let me know all of that down in the comments. And while you're commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you can notify my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragon's TCG.